Hello, this is Mystic Mod. Thank you so much for joining me to discuss this Leo new moon occurring on August 17th at 2:38 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Please do adjust for your location on planet Earth as the time and date may actually change. So first things first, this video will be discussing some of the themes and archetypes and symbolism of the Leo new moon, and then we'll talk about the transits that are supporting the overarching themes. I am hosting an online workshop on Monday, August 14th at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and it will be open to the public. If you are interested in that, I will create a link in my description where you can reach me. And we will be diving more deeply into the themes and symbolism and archetypes, as well as what the meaning of the new moon is. And we will be looking at our own personal birth charts to discover where the elements are being activated, what energies are being activated, as well as picking tarot cards to get clear on what the universe is asking for from us and what we need to leave behind and embrace, etc. So it's a deeper dive into what is being called from us, or it's being asked of us this lunar cycle. So if you're interested in that, again, you can visit me on Instagram at mystic_mod, that's MAUDE, or you can reach out to me here, or I will put the link to my website in the description. Also, I'm available for personal readings if you'd really like to dive deeply into what's happening for you right now or for this lunar cycle. All right, let's get started here. Okay, so the major Leo themes that I can think of are source, creative self-expression. And what I mean by that is Leo is a sun-ruled sign. So if you think about where the sun gets its own light, it gets it from itself. It is literally creating light through nuclear fusion within it. And that light gives life to everything else around it. In fact, everything else in our solar system revolves around the sun. All life is made possible because of the warmth and generative, creative rays of the sun that emanate from it. So it is our creative self-expression. And even think about the word create. What it means to create is to make something out of nothing. So it really harkens to our personal, unique talents and gifts and expression that only we have as individuals. And we all have something that is very unique to us. And we are here to share it, to shine it, to show it. When we shine our own light, it inspires other people. When we are coming from our own source, we are tapped into the soul of the world, and we are in our flow, and we emanate and we glow and we radiate from it. And the other people around us, they feel it. They feel that warmth of our own sun. So the number one most important thing is creative self-expression and tapping into that part of yourself. So think about, what is it that you are here to create? What is your gift? What is your talent? What helps you feel like you're tapped into the soul of the world, the current of the universe? You know what I mean. You know that feeling. We've all had it. So the second thing is leadership. Again, like everything revolves around the sun. And when it's expressed positively, it is leadership. There is a quality of devotion and joy and wanting everyone to do their best and be their best, and inspiring and being compassionate, devotional leaders. Again, the negative qualities of the sun of Leo are kind of narcissism, because again, everything revolves around the sun. So if you are not expressing this in a positive way, it can be kind of come across as narcissistic or egotistical or self-centered, or not really caring or seeing how your actions affect other people. It's kind of like, me now, everyone serve me, me, I. So being aware of the areas in our life where we are feeling entitled, where we are not caring about other people. Because think about what a good leader embodies. A good leader is generous. A good leader is devoted, is able to help, wants the best for everyone around it, and actually puts itself not last, but it puts its subjects first. You know, it shines its light. It's the life giver. It recognizes that everything is dependent on it shining its light, and it has that responsibility, and it feels it, and it takes it very seriously. Leo is also connected to our joy and our optimism. It's about being positive. Leos are very charismatic and warm and generous, and they also connect us to our inner child, you know, that part of us that just wants to run and play and be in the sun. You know, think about the sun card in the tarot deck, or at least the Rider-Waite is like a naked baby on a horse with a bunch of sunflowers and in the sun. So, you know, think about what the sun does. It draws us outside. When it's a beautiful sunny day, like, it's hard to be inside. We want to be out by the river, or playing or barbecuing or just hiking in the woods and being in nature. I guess that's just what I want to do. But I think most people want to be outside in the sun when it's sunny. It literally draws people out, you know. So think about that quality of the sun as being Leo. Leo draws people out, draws their light out, their energy, their happiness, their joy, their inner child. You know, it's like connecting us to that part of us that just wants to be happy and isn't worried so much about all the adulty responsibility. You know, it's just want to have some fun and get spicy, you know. So Leo is also connected to drama. They are great actors. They can be very flamboyant and very dramatic. They are the most dramatic of all the signs, you know. They love a little drama in life, you know. It makes it more exciting. It's like, you know, fun clothes and glitter and, you know, zest and pizzazz, and that is so Leo, right? We all have a little bit of that in ourselves. So when you look to the fifth house in our charts, that is like what connects us to that drama, the inner child, and joy, and also our creative self-expression. Leo is also where we need to be recognized and appreciated. The medicine of Leo is for us to tap into our own creative self-expression, but then also to be seen and appreciated for us. You know, we have to have that lion heart in order to really step into our expression, right? You know, think about what a lion heart is. It's being courageous. It is being brave, but it's also being compassionate. It's being loyal. It's being devoted to something. It's standing up for the rights of others and for yourself, and having the determination and the will to get things done and to do your thing. Where the recognition and appreciation comes in is like when you do step into that heart and that heart-centered place, you are recognized for it. You're appreciated for it. People feel the warmth of your glow. The opposite sign of Aquarius is the opposite kind of medicine. Like, yes, you do need to do your thing, but people don't really appreciate you for it. So it actually takes a lot more strength to do that, which is why Aquarius is like the second to last sign. It's a much older, much wiser, much less needy sign, so to speak. So yes, and let's talk about the transits now. So the very first thing that I notice when I look at this chart is I see Venus and Black Moon Lilith are kind of sandwiching the new moon. See, the sun and the moon here are in Leo, and they're being sandwiched by this feminine sign and this other feminine sign. So I think it's really interesting that this masculine sign of Leo is being propped up by these two feminine signs. So there's really something here about the patriarchy, which I won't get super far into, but it is something to take note of, that there's this feminine support and there's this questioning of how we hold ourselves and hold our creative selves in a feminine way. Okay, so Venus retrograde in Leo conjuncting the new moon is emphasizing our self-worth, our personal value, how we value ourselves and others, how we show up in relationships, what we are attracting into our lives, what we are attracted to, how we are judging ourselves, how we are judging others, what we feel like we deserve, how much money we feel like we deserve to earn, because Venus is very much connected to our money and our money spending habits. So Venus is squaring Jupiter. So a square is a tense aspect, but we have Jupiter in Taurus, and Venus rules Taurus. Taurus themes are of like money, our possessions, what we have, but also what we value, what, also all of those same themes are coming up. Jupiter is expansion, and so what we believe in. So this Venus retrograde squaring Jupiter is telling us, questioning our beliefs around the things that we have, what we deserve to have, what we need, what we earn, all of the things that I just spoke about. And it's especially emphasizing how we value our work financially and what we feel like we are capable of and capable of earning. Are we able to make money from doing our gift and talent, and that is really coming through strong. We are all being called right now to find out what it is that we are here to shine, to emphasize, to emanate, to manifest, because when we shine our light, it helps others to shine their own. So this is telling us, like, what are the limiting beliefs and things that are getting in the way of our life, whether it's like our home or our jobs or whatever, that are keeping us from stepping into our full creative power, because something definitely is. So Venus is also trining Chiron, exactly like 18, 19 degrees. So that's a positive aspect. So that is emphasizing healing around those Venus themes, around our femininity, around our finances, love, relationships, self-worth, self-esteem. So this square to Jupiter is helping us recognize and feel the squeeze of the things that we need to release. And then Chiron's coming in to help us release it, right? So Lilith conjunct the new moon. Lilith actually represents the first woman. It's not Eve. It's actually, she predates Eve. She was cast out of paradise for not obeying or complying with Adam. So she represents that part of ourselves that is uncompromising and fierce, but also our initial rejection for standing in our own power. So this is important because we all face an initial rejection, and it either came from ourselves or it came from some other source, like someone else told us that we were dumb or stupid, or we would never amount to this, or we could never do that, or our drawing sucked, or hockey wasn't for you, or we did it to ourselves. Like, personal share, when I used to love to sing, I mean, actually I still love to sing, right? But when I was 5 or 6, maybe even 7, I used to record myself singing to Cat Stevens, and I loved Cat Stevens then. And I recorded myself singing "Ooh Baby, It's a Wild Wild World" on a cassette tape, and then I listened to it and I was like, oh my God, that is horrible. And I felt like embarrassed and mortified, and I erased it and I stopped singing. And it wasn't until I was like 35 years old and picked up the ukulele again that I started getting into it. And I was like, damn, like, I feel like I could have like enjoyed this more as a gift or something that I liked to do or tended to when I was younger. So that was like a way that I rejected myself, and it like stifled my growth in some way, or from doing something that really brought me a lot of joy and happiness, right? And so perhaps you did that to yourself too. Maybe you're like, oh, this poetry is terrible, or like this rap song sucks, or whatever, Right now is not about caring about the opinions of others. It's like getting to the bottom of like our initial rejection wounds and casting them off, and being fearless, having that lion heart, and fearlessly doing things without worry about other people's opinions or judgments, right? So this Venus trine Chiron aspect is also supporting this conjunction between the new moon and Lilith, and it's showing that we're collectively healing from this patriarchal rule, as well as healing our own wounds around rejection and judgment. So really take time to consider what wounds that may be still affecting you, that are keeping you from shining your own light. So the next thing I want to talk about is Uranus squaring the new moon. We have Uranus, where is right here, 23 degrees, exactly 23 degrees. There's like an exact square between Uranus and the new moon. So Uranus is the planet of rebellion and chaos. It strikes like lightning to alter things permanently. It represents sudden and drastic change in our lives. in the sign of Taurus and square the new moon, it causes tension to the status quo. So something wants to change. Something wants to change, and we are either working with it or we are working against it. And it's asking us to see where we are stubbornly holding on to the status quo, like whether it be a house or a location, or a job that we feel like we need for financial security, that's stifling our creative flow. Because if you work 8 hours a day for some other job or corporation or whatever, then you get home and you don't really have time to do that much for yourself. And then your weekends are like, I have to do all my laundry and this and that and catch up with this or that, like I know from experience that working all day for someone else does not leave a lot of room for exploring and tending to your own gifts and talents. So where are we holding on stubbornly to something that is not allowing us to break free and shine our individual light? Because Uranus is the sign of individualization. It really wants us to break free and break out of things. But also it's asking, like, where are we not being stubborn or determined enough? We really need to embody that Leo lion heart in order to stay determined on the path, to know clearly, like, okay, I'm facing some obstacles, but I need to move past them. And sometimes obstacles, your biggest challenges are within yourself, because they're the hardest obstacles to see, right? They're the hardest to spot because they're inside and they're so close to us, right? So it's really takes some serious personal reflection to see, like, our own self-limiting beliefs. Like, where are we like, oh, I don't know, I can't, I shouldn't, or I don't deserve that, etc. So everything's really lining up to show us where we need to shift. So the new moon is semi-sextile Mars and Mercury here. Like, look at this. This is like 18, 19 degrees, 22 degrees. This is such close aspects here. That's a positive sign. It's supportive and it creates opportunities. So what this is telling me is that Mars is coming in to give us a new motivation and drive, to give us that extra boost of energy to go after what we are looking for. And then Mercury is helping us figure out new ways of how we can make it happen, right? So all of this is to get us back on track to our highest path and truth. And of course, we cannot not talk about this trine and sextile to the moon's nodes right here. So we have the south node over here, we have the north node, and the new moon is trining the north node and sextiling the south node. So, and then we have Pluto here squaring the moon's nodes, showing us that we have a skipped step. That's what in evolutionary astrology, that's what we call it when it's squaring the moons. When a planet is squaring the moon's nodes, it's a skipped step. It means that there's like a challenge, an obstacle that needs to be overcome. It's kind of like getting in the way right here between our south node, which is where we're coming from, and our north node, which is where we are going to. So we have to overcome this obstacle of Pluto, and Pluto is the sign of transformation and change and death and rebirth and regeneration and hidden things. So it's discovering what our hidden talents are that we are not sharing, bringing them to light, to be seen, to be shared, to heal the world, to heal others. But it's also releasing the things that are getting in the way, and also changing the things that are also getting in the way but don't need to necessarily be released, right? So changing your mind. You can't really like release, I guess you can like release old patterns of behavior, but you need to also shift them and change them, right? So destiny's calling. The moon's nodes represent where we're coming from, where we are evolving to, where we are being asked to shift away from caring too much about negative opinions and judgments of others, of compromising and undermining our own expression to support suit or support others, because the north node where we are evolving to is in Aries and the south node is in Libra. Libra is the other, and Aries is doing things on your terms, on your own terms. So it's the south node is always kind of like the negative expression of the sign. So the negative expression of Libra is like over compromising, forgetting about your own needs to suit other people, being the opposite, an enabler, if you will, So we're shifting away from being like making ourselves small and little for other people in order to express ourselves more fully, to be who we are. Aries is the first sign. It is the I am. It's doing things on your own terms, being unafraid, going after things fiercely, meeting every obstacle head on, and overcoming things. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, please let me know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Please share with your friends. Please like it. Please subscribe. Again, I am hosting a workshop for the new moon on Monday, August 14th at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you feel like you'd like to join and learn more about what this energy is activating in your own chart and what all this means for you and help. And it's going to be mostly also a container for self-reflection. I have a lot of good stuff to reflect on to help you get clear about what you are wanting to embrace and release and create this month and the next 6 months for when Leo is going to be the full moon. So again, I'll leave a description in the show notes, or a link in the show notes rather. If you'd like your own reading, you can also hit me up for that. And I hope that this is very helpful for you. Have a wonderful day.